Okay, good morning class. Today we are going to go over the causes of World War I. So I'm going to do a quick lecture for you guys to go over the main causes. Then we're going to do some book work and a little project at the end. So, does anyone know anything about World War I?
No.
No one? Okay. So, good. Then I can help you with that. World War I is also known as the Great War. It lasted from about 1914 to about 1918. World War I is considered one of the first modern wars. About 17 million people were killed. Over 120 countries were involved. And it is one of the first man-made catastrophes of the 20th century. When we say the first modern war, they developed trench warfare, where men fought in trenches. It was an extremely violent, extremely brutal form of warfare that killed a lot of people. They also used biological weapons, such as mustard gas. We see the invention of tanks, aviation, all these kind of modern technologies that we're used to in war now. So, what's the cause of World War I? Well, it's like anything. If you're in a relationship with someone, your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you guys are going to break up, it's usually not because of one thing, right? It's usually one day they make you mad, the next day they do something else that kind of pisses you off, so then you decide to break up. War's the same way. No single event led to the cause of World War I, but rather it was a whole bunch of things, events involved, countries, the history with these countries that kind of led to this war. So, we have the chain of events, the history of involved countries, equals an outbreak of fighting. Here the map shows the Central Powers, the Allied Powers, and the neutral countries, and how they fought against each other during war. So, we good? Questions so far? Okay. So, when I'm going to remember the causes of World War I like to use MAIN, M-A-I-N. This helps me to remember, and these are going to be some of our vocabulary words for this lesson. So, MAIN. M, militarism. I, alliances. A, alliances. Sorry, I don't know letters. I, imperialism. And nationalism. So these can help you to remember not only the vocabulary, but the main causes of the war. First, militarism. Can anybody tell me what they think militarism means, besides what's on the board?
No.
Okay. So militarism is simply your military and strengthening of your military forces. If a country like us, the United States, is getting ready to go to war, we're going to bolster up our military. We're going to make sure we have all those fighter jets and all those tanks ready to go. Countries during World War I did the same thing. They strengthened their military forces. So, France and Germany doubled their armies between 1870 and 1914. Doubled their armies. So, whatever they did, more than double that. Great Britain and Germany. Great Britain is known for its navy. They had a huge navy. Germany also had submarine warfares, and they were dominant over the sea. Industrialization, modernization, this allows countries to manufacture more powerful weapons, more technology, and they're able to do more destruction. So, the economy was given a high priority, and the military was given a high priority, during economic times. So a lot of the money went towards military and making sure that the military was bolstered. Okay, so M, militarism. A, this is our alliances. What is an alliance? An alliance is a mutual agreement that if one country was attacked, the other was going to be there to help you. So think about an alliance with someone like your best friend. If someone's going to mess with them, you've got their back, right?
Yeah.
So, an alliance, you have these countries got together and said, well, if Germany messes with you, then I'll attack them. So, who are our main players? Italy, Austria-Hungary, and Germany form the Triple Alliance. This is a very strong alliance, big military. Then we have France, Great Britain, and Russia, and they form the Triple Entente, which is a French word, Triple Entente, and they were basically the other side of the war. Then we had other countries, Russia, Serbia, that formed kind of their own alliance, and they get kind of locked into the main war. And then we get neutral zone countries that weren't involved at all. So, European countries hoped that these alliances would keep them from attacking one another and that peace would be maintained. So the thought behind it was, if we're all allied, then no one's going to mess with each other. Well, that sounds great and all until it actually comes to fruition. Okay, so we have M, militarism, A, alliances, I, imperialism. Imperialism, this is when a country increases its power and wealth by acquiring new lands under its control. So let's say I'm the United States. I'm going to go over, I say, look, India has a lot of resources that we like. We'll go over and just take over India. This idea was what major power countries were doing at the time. European countries like France, Great Britain, they created huge worldwide empires, Great Britain obviously the largest, through imperialism. Other countries like Germany and Russia, they wanted to get in on this. They wanted to build their own empire, so they were kind of fighting with those countries. So these countries who were imperialist and colonized other places became very rich and very powerful off of the natural resources from the countries that they took from. They also got people, so labor, resources, diamonds, gold, silver, natural resources like rubber. So Great Britain especially, with their huge empire, went and was able to get a lot from other countries. So during imperialism, we have the scramble for Africa. This is one example of how countries like Great Britain, France, Belgium, all went and colonized unclaimed land. Now, people had been living in this land for thousands of years, but these major world powers didn't care about that and didn't really make a difference to them, so they went and rushed. So 1880, you can see there's a few colonies. By 1913, almost the entirety of Africa is taken over by imperialism. So, during imperialism, Great Britain acquires so much land that the saying, the sun never sets on the British Empire, became popular, which means that at some point in the world, there was always a colony of Great Britain where the sun was shining. That's how huge their imperial control was. Finally, we have M, militarism, A, alliances, I, imperialism, and finally, N stands for nationalism. Nationalism is something we can all understand. This is a strong sense of pride in one's own nation or ethnic group. So, if you are proud to be American, you're nationalistic. If you're Hispanic or of Mexican origin, then you're nationalistic for Mexican pride and heritage. It's just wherever you culturally share your sense of pride here. So this can be people who share a common cultural background. Here we have the Slavic people. Many Europeans felt that their own nations or ethnic groups were superior to others. So obviously Great Britain thought that they were top of the pops. Germany thought that they were. This causes tensions and clashes. Nationalism was very high in Serbia, and this was a group and a country just south of Austria-Hungary. So Serbia gets to be a major player in World War I. So, now that we're getting to the start, Bosnia. Bosnia is a region located right here, south of Austria-Hungary. They get involved in World War I because there were a lot of Slavic people that lived here in Serbia. So, the Slavs decided, hey, we're our own people. We want to have our own country, free from Austria-Hungary, free from Bosnia. And these nationalistic feelings, this pride in one's background, led to events that outbroke World War I. So, we're almost there, guys. So this is the powder keg of Europe. Remember, we have all of these militarism, alliances, imperialism, and now we have nationalism. Everyone thinks they're superior, everyone wants their own power and land. So finally, all of these things come to a head and like, it's a bomb going off, okay? So, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, he is visiting Sarajevo, former Bosnian region, and he is assassinated by a Serbian nationalist, this guy, Gavino Principo. This sets off the outbreak of World War I. So this is officially when it gets on and popping. So our powder keg, Austria-Hungary, they think the assassination was set up by the Serbian government, and they are not too happy about it. 1 month after the assassination, there's declared war on Serbia. This sets off a chain reaction for all of these countries joining the war. Russia mobilizes to defend Serbia, because remember, that's their alliance. Germany invades France because of France's alliance with Russia. And when Germany attacked France and Belgium, then Great Britain's got to get involved because they got to back up their friends. Okay, so here's our map showing where everybody was going down. So finally, the Great War begins. Door, please. So both sides of the war believed that it would be over quickly, that they would be able to squash this soon, but in reality it lasted over 4 years. So when you're remembering the main causes of World War I, think militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism, okay? And everybody get out your books. We're going to do page 252, chapter 5, looking at World War I. We're going to go over some of these causes some more, okay?